Well, the politics of gun control laws are such that stricter laws are extremely unlikely. The key question ought to be whether they could be effective, and there's lots of reason to wonder whether they could be effective for situations such as we saw today. It's hard for me to envision what kind of laws could have headed this off. We are often compared in the United States with other nations where they have far fewer incidents of this kind and they have stiffer laws. But again, whether those laws are the cause or it's simply the culture of the countries that downplays interest in guns, it's hard to say. I don't know the answer. The effectiveness of gun control laws is an open question. The only conceivable one is, last I knew, the city of Aurora, where this took place, had a city ordinance that forbade loaded weapons in cars, and I assume he brought his weapons in his car, and I assume they were loaded in the car. Now, that law conflicts with state law, and there's lawsuits going on now about who wins, the city or the state. If the city wins that, or actually the test lawsuit I think is by Denver, if the cities win that, then he would have violated that law. But that law would in no way have prevented what occurred. If the police had pulled him over because he was speeding or something, then you'd have a question. But that didn't happen. Apparently he knew better than to violate the traffic laws on the way to his little rendezvous with the movie patrons. So he may have violated a law, but it wouldn't have had anything to do with the outcome, which is again this question of effectiveness of gun regulations. There's this conflict between home rule cities like Aurora and state law, and the laws in the cities vary considerably. Denver seems to have the most restrictive ones, and Denver, as I say, has been feuding legally with the state about who wins. Denver, for example, has a has a law that forbids assault weapons. Whether this young man had some kind of assault weapons, whether his so-called assault weapon violates the Denver prohibition, I don't know, but assuming that it did, it would, and assuming that this took place in Denver instead of Aurora, then we'd have this same conflict between state and local laws. The state laws, he wasn't violating. He had every right to do what he did until he opened fire under the state law. Well, I take it back. He may have trespassed when he broke into the theater, but short of that, he didn't break any gun laws, any gun regulation laws until he opened fire.